All right, so some of the problems I'm seeing with your document is similar to this here. We have an object that's been traced all the way around, but then there's just these single lines that are not closed shapes. That becomes problematic because we won't be able to use lines like this once we start coloring things in, and you can't actually color these individual areas slightly darker, slightly lighter, which we actually like to have so we can gain control of the volume, making this look rounded or whatnot. So we have this Pathfinder tool available to us. If we go to Window, Pathfinder, okay, you'll notice that this palette comes up here. If you have these done like this, what you want to just make sure is that this line actually overlaps, you know, the area that you're trying to cut out from. Okay, so I'm just going to extend these a bit, let there be some overlap, it's okay. And then once you have the overlap that you want, or more that you need, you can go ahead and select all of these, okay, all that area, the external shape that you want, and then also the dividing lines. And you can click this option here, divide. And what it will do is if we click off of it and we click on it, it cuts everything into these pieces, but notice it selects everything. All you have to do is while it's selected, right click and ungroup. And now if you click off of it and you click again, you'll have this individual piece. So it's gone ahead and divided it for you, okay? That way, when you start coloring these in, say that you assign a color here, like a purple, you can then remove the stroke, okay? And then say for this next area, say that you want to grab that same purple, grab the eyedropper here, okay? I can slightly change that color. I'm just going to move it over ever so slightly so it's a little bit of a different color. And see how you can change the color slightly? That allows you to control the shading and stuff on it, okay? Now, there is a lot of times that little gap in between there, and that's why I like to have kind of an overlap. So a lot of times I'll squish it together so it will be seamless. Now you can barely see the color difference. I'll make it a little bit more apparent here. But that way you can create kind of that feeling of indentation. You can make one darker, lighter, darker, lighter, darker, lighter, and you can control that area better, okay? So this is another way that you can slice it so that you don't have to come in here and draw all of this separately. Make sure that you create that overlap on those lines ahead of time. If not, you'll notice in some of these, see how all these came together as one and you can't control the individual parts? That's because if we look at it closely, see how these lines didn't touch all the way through, didn't touch all the way through? It ended up banding them together. So make sure that you make those adjustments, okay? The other option you have is say that you want to slice this here. There's a tool in here, it's called the knife tool. It's under the eraser here. If we go to the knife tool, as long as the object is selected and say you want to slice off the top of it, you got to go all the way down here and then around here. There we go. And then what it'll do is it'll also slice it for you. So you got that piece and you have this piece. Okay. The only thing with this knife tool is that it's a little bit more difficult to control that line, and you won't always get the curve that you want. So a lot of times you just have to draw the line first. Okay. So all right, hopefully that one helps.